April, that's when the first stimulus payments went out to Americans. 6 months later, many of you still haven't gotten yours, but there is still hope for that first and only stimulus. We're here with Mark Hensley. He's the Associate Director of the Triad Region's AARP, and Scott Braddock, the founder of Scott Braddock Financial. If you have questions that you want answered, text them to the number that is on your screen right now. That's 336-379-5775. Remember, text these questions. Do not call the number. All right, so I think the first thing, guys, that we need to talk about is the breaking news from the president, all in a tweet. So let's show that tweet. And in the tweet, he says that the Democrats wanted to spend too much. He's told his representatives to stop negotiating and that a second stimulus will happen after the election. All right, Mark, I know AARP lobbied for the first stimulus, so this has got to be quite surprising.
Right. Our focus has been on the Senate. So the House proposal would normally go to the Senate. We know the Senate has gone to recess over COVID for a couple of weeks, and we were expecting them to take this measure up when they came back. Always we've had the support of the White House for a second stimulus. Now today that has been pulled out, and it really does put us in a position to not expect a stimulus for some time.
I mean, even if it's after Election Day, we're looking into December or something like that if that happens. All right,
exactly.
So Scott, when that happened and the news came out, what happened with the markets?
Well, you know, Tanya, the markets never like uncertainty, and that's exactly what we have now. In fact, this morning, based on a different tweet that President Trump had sent out that shared some optimism, encouraging the two sides to come together on a stimulus, the market today was up 200 points. And then after his latest tweet to postpone until after election, we were down 350 points on the Dow. So negative effect.
And we don't know how long that will last. We'll check in again tomorrow morning and see what happens with all of that as well. All right, with that said, so second stimulus right now is off the table, but there are at least 245,000 North Carolinians who still haven't received their first stimulus, and Mark, they're eligible for it.
They are. If you are a non-filer before 2018, 2018 to the present, a non-filer, then you still have time to go in to irs.gov and submit your information, because you may be one of those 245,000 who are eligible for a stimulus but have yet to receive it.
Okay, and so this has just recently changed as of this week. The deadline was October 15th. Now the IRS has moved that to November 21st to register for your stimulus payment. But let's be clear how we do that. You have to go to the IRS site and you have to go to the non-filers section of that. So let's put that up so that folks at home will be able to know exactly what they have to do. Non-filers have until 11/21 to file for the stimulus payment. And if you do file taxes, okay, but you still haven't gotten your stimulus payment, your deadline is still 10/15, which is really interesting that the IRS is making this very small extra window for those who are just non-filers. I think we also have a graphic that shows what the non-filers portal or tool looks like when you get to the irs.gov site. It's really easy. Get my economic impact payment, and it will say non-filers payment. And when they go to that non-filers tool, Mark, what are they putting in?
They're putting in their personal information, their name, their mailing address. My understanding is this will go out in the form of a check. So this would be generated immediately to come out from the Treasury to the individual if they are eligible to receive this payment.
And as always, people are wondering, okay, well, what happens when I get this stimulus payment? Am I eventually going to pay it back? And Scott, the answer is?
Well, the answer is this is actually tax-free. You're not going to pay this back. You're not going to pay taxes on it. So it really is a credit to the American people to help stimulate the economy and of course, obviously help out folks that are going through these challenging times and just trying to make ends meet.
Mark, one of the main things that people had asked was, all right, what happens if for some reason I just never get my stimulus payment? Something's wrong. I mean, and that's going to happen. I mean, think of all the millions of taxpayers there are. The IRS is going to miss some people, that they still have another option to get this as a tax credit.
So it puts people in two camps. If you're a tax filer, then you'll be able to put this tax credit on your income taxes when you file for 2020. So that's going to be likely April 15th, 2021. So you're waiting on that tax credit. But the individuals that don't file taxes, they're usually recipients of public benefits. They have until the 21st to go to irs.gov and submit their information to ensure that they get their payment. I'm afraid after that deadline, they may be at risk for not receiving any payment whatsoever.
All right. All right. We're going to continue to take your questions. You can text your questions. The number right there at the bottom of the screen, 336-379-5775, and we'll be right back.